Ready? Let's do this. Has it gone yet? Monster Hunter is not a franchise I've ever heard of before, let alone played. Allegedly this one's been made more accessible for newcomers. Well, that's fine, but I couldn't tell you what the difference is. The first thing you'll notice is the noise. Not the game, the console. It's weird because this game is not quite as graphically impressive as Horizon Zero Dawn, and it doesn't have the 60 frames per second of Neo, and it still manages to drop frames, and yet my console sounds like it's a swarm of angry bees that have had elocution lessons. Anyway, oh thank God. Anyway, what's the game itself like? Well, after a brief intro you get the character creator, decent range of options, and... Aww! It's a kitty cat! Actually, it's called a palico. He can have a weapon, armour and a gadget. He's like Elizabeth from Bioshock. You don't have to worry about him. He even revives himself when he's knocked out. You'll start the game with some basic supplies, but you'll be expected to get by on your own straight away. The game features 14 weapons and you get the entry level version of all of them. But if you want better, you've got to earn them. And by earn, I mean make. I mean, you pay the blacksmith to forge weapons and armour for you, but you still have to give him the materials. Guess where you get the materials from? When you start exploring, the map will be filled in with the lay of the land. Additionally, resource points will be marked, allowing you to find them later more easily. So it's in your own interest to explore the areas thoroughly. Your first mission is to slay some Jagras. They're not too dangerous, and if you kill one, the rest usually retreat. Unless you chase them to their nest, like here. Once dead, monsters can be carved for crafting parts. Completing a mission yields bonus items based on what you achieved, extra component parts from the monster types you killed, for example. You kill a bunch of Jagras, you end up with bonus Jagras parts. Back at base, the materials you've retrieved allow you to upgrade your equipment. Monster parts upgrade your weapons, armor spheres upgrade your armor. That's it. That's the game cycle right there. Equip stuff, go into the field, kill monsters, grab everything that isn't nailed down and a fair few things that are, come back to base, use those materials to build more stuff, rinse and repeat. You know, now that I think about it, that sounds very boring. It isn't. These are the small monsters. These are the big bruisers. Make no mistake, these monsters can kill you in seconds, or even instantly if you slip up. It's that kind of game. It's the kind of game that embodies the motto, be prepared. So how do you prepare yourself? Well, you need to do your research on the monster first. You go into the areas and you find tracks, things like footprints, ruts in the ground, even saliva stains, signs the monster has been there. You examine them. That adds to your research on that monster. Eventually your research levels up. With enough research on the monster, the game will eventually tell you where the weak points are on the monster, what type of weapons they're vulnerable to in those areas, and even the types of additional elemental damage that the monster is vulnerable to. You can gain a lot of information without even engaging it in combat. And while you're out in the field doing your research, you may as well grab all the items you possibly can. You'll be glad you did later. You can grab things like green healing herbs, which go to make the health potions. Grab some honey, add it to the potion to create mega potions, because frankly they're the only potion worth a damn in the middle of a fight. You can kill some herbivores, particularly at the beginning of the first level. You kill some of them, they drop raw meat, cook it on your barbecue set. Eat the cooked meat and it extends the distance of your stamina gauge. That allows you to go further in a fight without tiring. And frankly, there are too many items for me to go through here. You just have to go out into the field, grab stuff, see what pops up on the crafting menu and experiment. So you've done your research, you've crafted your supplies. What next? Well, hopefully you've been killing a few of the smaller monsters as well as gathering some iron ore. These will give you enough material to upgrade your basic weapon and forge some new armour. Don't do what I did and forget to craft the armour. If you kill the smaller Jagras, you have enough components usually to build the hunter armour. If you go out and scavenge the bone piles, they drop random bones that allow you to forge the bone armour. You should be in a constant state of slow, steady improvement all throughout the game. There is no shortcut to the top in this. The only way you improve is by hunting monsters, gathering materials, and forging the better stuff that you need to progress. And because of that, some people might be put off by the slow pace and the initial lack of upgrades. Stick with it. At first, the armour options will look pitiful. Boom! Much more choice later on. The options don't appear until you've encountered the monster whose components actually make the armour, you see. Similarly, weapon trees are short and limited in size. Boom! More choice later on. It's worth the patience. And that's what some people might not like about this. The first 4, 6, 8 hours, it's really slow, and the game doesn't give you any rewards barring cash. Anything else you're expected to make on your own. Also, be aware the combat is a bit on the slow, awkward side. It's deliberate and really only pronounced with the bigger, heavier or more technical weapons, but again, it takes patience to wear a monster down, and some people might not like the handling. Just don't rush ahead and try and bite off more than you can chew. Four minutes I lasted. 4 minutes. Ah, fuck off with your roaring. I didn't actually mean you to take that quite so literally. The monsters periodically break off and go somewhere else. At first this is immensely annoying since it forces you to chase the buggers down. And then you realise it's an opportunity for you to catch your breath, and sharpen your weapon. Oh yeah, you have to sharpen your weapon, because if it gets blunt, it just starts bouncing off the monster's hide. Keep it sharp. Another 6 minutes. Get off! Just die already! Yes!
Focus our attention towards capturing Zora Magdaros.
And you know the damnedest thing? That wasn't even the longest fight I had. "44 minutes. Most of the missions have a time limit of 50 minutes, which means that I nearly ran out the timer. I got a 10-minute warning on screen. And you know what? It's my own damn fault. It is. It's my own fault. If I had done my research, I might have known that the Baroth can roll around in the mud, and the mud sticks to it and hardens and forms a kind of armour. I didn't know that. If I had known, I would have picked up some water moss, loaded it into my slingshot, and washed the mud armour off of him. But I didn't know that, so I kept on slogging my guts out for 44 minutes. Do your research. Have I mentioned this game has multiplayer? When you start a mission, it becomes visible to other players. In addition, you can fire a distress flare, letting other players know you need help. I'm not normally a person that loves multiplayer online. I tend to be a natural team player, and most of the players I meet casually online are trying to be lone wolves, so it doesn't quite work for me. But in this game, all the players are focused on a single target, and incidentally that single target is trying to kill them, which means that weirdly everyone ends up working together to bring the monster down. Even without knowing the other players that are on your team, and even without communicating with them, you all just naturally cooperate with this game. It works surprisingly well. I had no issues with other people while playing this. I'm astounded. This is an excellent multiplayer game, even if you play it casually. And if you have people you regularly play with online, it'll be even better. Oh, make sure you do the base missions. They improve the base support facilities that you unlock as you progress in the story. Don't forget to do them. And when you've completed the main quest line up to the 6-star missions, you unlock High Rank Mode. High Rank Mode causes areas to have high-level loot drops. Monsters also drop high-level loot that can be used to make high-level gear. You know what, I could keep on talking about this game for hours. I could discuss the weapons, the monsters, the whole feel of it, the environments and everything. We'll be here for ages if I do. At the beginning of the game, it feels really slow. It's those first 4, 6, 8 hours that are the problem, because you feel like you have so few options, and you look at it and you think to yourself, I'm going to be done with this game very quickly. Push through it. There is a shitload of options that you are not seeing straight away. Push through that initial slow phase. The combat is awkward, I will admit that, but the enemies telegraph their attacks, so in the long run it kind of balances out. The final score for Monster Hunter World is an 8 out of 10. This is a great game and I enjoyed myself immensely with it. You just have to stick with it. You have to push through that initial slow boring phase and you'll eventually discover the sheer scale and brilliance that is hidden within this game, waiting for you to find it. And I was also pleasantly surprised by how well the multiplayer works, especially for someone like me who doesn't particularly relish multiplayer. Everyone just works naturally with each other. It's brilliant. So that's it. What did you think of my video? Leave a like or dislike down below. What did you think of the game? Or haven't you played it yet? Or have I put you off forever? Leave a comment in the section down below. And if you ever lose your way to my channel again, or if you're just a glutton for punishment, you can always hit the subscribe button. See you next time. Ah, get it off! Oh, God. I tried for too high a pitch. Stop. Balance on my arm properly. Shit. I just... I forgot him. I almost left him out. Sorry. Yes, you are important. Not important enough to remember, but